John Panio here with another video. Today we're going to be doing a character showcase. We're going to be going over our girl LCCB Assistant Manager Ishmael. We have her at level 20. She's at Uptie Tier 3. And she is a very strong character because she has the ammo mechanic. But she also suffers from it because she is an ammo user. Now, going over her skills, her first skill is Shove. Her base is 4. On coin flip, she flips 1 coin and can go up to 10. And on hit, she gets to inflict 3 paralysis. Unfortunately, right now, paralysis is a status effect that is not working, but if it was working, it'd be really strong. Paralysis, what it does is the first coin flips on X coins flip for 0. So what that means is if I inflict 3 paralysis to an enemy, their next skills, the next 3 coins would always flip for 0, essentially. And if I had like 6 paralysis, the next 6 coins would flip for 0. So what paralysis does is it just makes it so that the enemy's coins don't hit heads. So it's always just going to be 0, so they never hit their heads. So you're always going to be able to overcome those big numbers that the enemies might be dropping on you if they land heads. So paralysis is very good, but unfortunately right now it's bugged, so not useful. Skill 2 is really strong. Skill 2 is Quake Rounds. It has a base of 4, and for each coin flip it wins, it gets 3, so potentially it can go up to 12. What's really strong about Quake Rounds is on hit it affects attack power down, which is really good, but not only that though, it's her ammo system where she spends 1 ammo and on hit she inflicts 8 Tremor and applies +2 Tremor count. This is insane because she essentially, if everything connects, she'll inflict 16 Tremor with a Tremor 4 count. How count works is any type of count, so like Tremor count, burn count, rupture count. What that means is instead of it going away right away, it goes away after either 4 instances or 4 turns. And Tremor count is at the end of the turn. So what that means is if everything connects, you'll get 16 tremors and 4 Tremor count. So your Tremor will tick down once every turn, so you essentially have 3 turns to apply Tremor Burst. What is Tremor Burst? Well, that's a skill 3. The Tremor status effect makes it so that with more stacks of Tremor applied to an enemy, when you apply a skill that has on hit burst Tremor, what it will do is it will lower the threshold that is required to stagger an enemy, and then you will be able to do, a little bit of damage with the potential to stagger the enemy really easily. So her kit synergizes very well on herself because how it should work is you Quake Round an enemy and then you have 4 turns to be able to use a skill that has on hit burst Tremor, and that will then do a ton of damage. But not only that, though, Suppress is a skill that can work by itself standalone because it's got a 4 base +2 for every coin flip, so that means it can potentially flip for 12. But when she uses her ammo, on hit she can inflict 4 rupture and apply +2 rupture count, which is also massive because not only does she inflict Tremor, she inflicts Tremor count, which then synergizes very well with someone who can do Tremor Burst as well as her. But her Suppress skill also is very well with Rupture because she applies 4 Tremor or 4 Rupture and can apply 2 Rupture count. So that means in total she can apply 8 Rupture with 4 Rupture count, which synergizes very well with characters such as 3-star Gregor. Her last shot spends 1 ammo and on hit inflict 5 fragile, which basically lowers the enemy's defense by 50%, which is massive. Her passive is actually very strong, surprisingly. Her passive synergizes with the Gluttony. 3 Gluttony will give her attacks that inflict 1 Tremor in a wand clash, so she can stack up Tremor really quickly with just Gluttony. But as well as support is pretty decent. The ally with the lowest speed gains 2 guard skill final power, which is very nice for a little bit of defensive option. So we're going to take her into the stage that I like to showcase with people, stage 3-4. So let's go over to good old stage 3-4. Okay, so this is the team that we're going to be using to showcasing it. We're going to be using Ishmael, obviously because she's the main star of this team, but we're going to be using Heathcliff because he's got Tremor Burst. We're going to be using Otis because she's got Rupture. We're going to be using Akira because she's got good synergy with for passes. We're going to be using Gregor as well because Gregor has great rupture. So this is the base team that we're going to be using in stage 3-4. Alright, so how you want to play Ishmael LCCB is you want to be able to start off with either her suppress or quake round. If you have the option to do suppress or quake round, just do quake or do suppress, because suppress is really strong because you can apply rupture and you can do fragile, which makes it so that the enemies take damage from rupture as well as take more damage from fragile. But the problem is if she loses her clash, it's not that good, but if she wins, great damage. You can see she did a ton of damage there. Ideally, what you want to be able to do is you want to be able to use Heathcliff to be able to use his Tremor Burst, because Heathcliff, his skill is he can either do on-hit Tremor Burst with his upheaval, or he can inflict 3 Tremor, which is also very good. Go one way again, and this time we're going to be using Quake Rounds. Quake Rounds is really good for getting the enemy to stagger really quickly. It applies a lot of Tremor, but I don't know why, but if you take a look at her right now, the enemy just gets staggered so quickly with Quake Rounds. Nope, this time she lost, unfortunate, so she wasn't able to get her count, but as you can see her ammo is dwindling. She starts off with I believe 13 ammo, and every time you use ammo it goes down. Once she's out of ammo, you're gonna lose access to her ammo skills. Even though she'll still clash, she won't be able to coin flip because she's got no ammo to use, and even if she wins her, even though she has ammo, she will be able to use her coin flips, but if she doesn't have ammo, she will still coin flip, but even if she wins, she won't shoot because she's got no ammo. The thing with gun characters is that even though they have a ton of damage and a ton of utility, they suffer from the lack of resources. They're really good for short burst stints such as mirror dungeons, mirror worlds, or stages where there's only 1 stage and 2 stage material ideally, but sometimes when it enters into wave 3, you're going to be really struggling because after that your Ishmael is probably going to run out of ammo, and once they go into stage 3 they're not going to be really able to be of much use because they've already used most of their ammo. So when it comes to this case, you really want to be using Ishmael in a team where you can either A, burst the enemy down really quickly, B, fighting in waves or fighting in stages where there's not a lot of waves, ideally just 1 or 2. Even without ammo, at least they're reliable clash winners, which is true because when you are using, these guys, they can still win with clash with their ammo, so that means they will steal the enemy's turn, but it just means that they're not going to be able to do a ton of damage, unfortunately. And right now, from the looks of it, we are getting absolutely annihilated, but let's see if we can make her clutch it out by herself solo bolo. We're winning, kind of winning. Okay, let's see how well she does. Oh, she's dead, isn't she? Oh, nope, was not able to do anything. Unfortunate. So, as you can see, she is able to do quite a bit of damage, but she does suffer from not having really a high base value, so she can potentially lose her clashes pretty badly. So, let's just hop right into it, and let's just switch up the team just a tad bit and see if she can fare a little bit better this time. Let's go, let's edit the team, pop her in, but this time we're going to be using a slightly stronger team, but let's not choose anything too broken. She is good with Tremor, so we will be using Heathcliff still. We want to be using green characters, so let's use our good old boy Gregor, because Gregor is quite strong, so we're going to use his green base form, but also he has the rupture. And let's just put in Akira, or not Akira, Ryoshu, because Ryoshu's good, and let's just keep Otis, as this team will do quite a bit of damage by itself still. So the only thing we changed is we added Gregor, but Gregor really synergizes really well with Ishmael because number 1, Gregor has 3 green skills, which synergize very well with Ryoshu, which synergizes very well with Ishmael. So this team should be able to fare a little bit better. The only difference we did was we swapped out one character, or we swapped out Gregor's base form for Gregor's better form. So in this case, we should be able to full auto, but we will see. So right now, Quake Rounds is going to be doing a ton. Oh, should be doing a ton of it. Alright, let him do his upheaval. Alright, you're not the main character. Get out of the way. Alright, come on. There we go. Ba ba ba. So as you can see, she basically half healthed that enemy. She did 50% of that person's enemy. 50% of that person's HP, which number one, staggered for sure, and number two, potentially could hit the double threshold for the stagger, because usually the stagger thresholds are 75% HP, 50% HP, 25% HP. So she was basically able to hit 2 stagger checkpoints, and she is still doing okay. Oh, struggling. Okay, don't like to see that. All right, let's play this a little bit smart and win rate. Actually, you know what? Let's not play this smart. Let's not play it smart. All right, let's get rid of that. No playing smart. Let's just see if we can full Unga Bunga. She is struggling with her suppress, but she was able to beat it out. And as you can see, her suppress 70% damage to that person's HP, instant stagger. So her Quake Round and her suppress skill is basically an instant stagger. Almost always, if it hits, it will stagger the enemy. She also does blunt damage, which is very strong. With this, we should be able to clutch it out and go through it. And alright, Gregor doing his thing, doing a ton of damage. Eviscerate, rupture, big damage, and 46, not bad. Otis is just really good because she's got an overall strong kit, but her first skill also applies rupture, and she can do like quite a bit of damage, which is very, very nice. Akira's splatter is decent because she does a ton of damage. Not Akira, what am I saying? Ryoshu's damage is very good. I don't know why I keep calling her Akira. Ryoshu's damage is really good. Her shove, as you can see, inflicts paralysis, but you'll see the... Oh, nope, dead. I was about to say, paralysis isn't working quite well, so I'll try to showcase it here, that paralysis is a broken mechanic. But let's do this. Let's go here, here. Blue, green, and red. Okay. And we can show here that we have a lot of passes going up. So right now we have Ryoshu's Indiscriminate Art, which we deal and take 25% more damage, which is quite a strong buff, honestly. But if you don't die, you're good. But if you die, pretty bad. Then we get to go into Eye for Weakness. Attack inflicts 1 tremor with in a wine clash, which is great. Because if we were able to have an upheaval here, we'd be doing great damage, but we don't, unfortunately. And we also have Emergency Rations, where at less than 25% HP, heal HP on Clash Win. As you can see, the synergy with this team, just by swapping out our weak Gregor for our strong Gregor, is actually pretty nuts. Now we can kind of blaze through the content pretty easily with just the base tier units with a 3-star Gregor and also 2-star Ishmael. We are getting absolutely rocked here, but we should be able to overcome this. So let's just showcase her little harpoon and see what happens. So Ryoshu's down, all good. We're gonna do her Snag Harpoon. Now Snag Harpoon is also pretty good because I know it inflicts bind, and I believe it also inflicts the tremor debuff. So the enemy is slowed, and they also have tremor, I believe. Yep, they also have tremor, but as you can see, there's only 1 out of 3. So 3 stacks of tremor that disappears after 1 turn. If you look here, this unit has 3 stacks, or 16 stacks of tremor, and for 3 count. So that means it's gonna take, or that means the tremor count will disappear after 3 turns. And from the looks of it, looks like this is going to look like a win. So we're gonna quickly jam this through and see what happens. And alright, they're doing damage. Whoa, okay, we might actually win right now. Whoa, don't win, don't burn my stamina. Oh god, staggered. Oh, okay, we didn't win. Well, alright, cool, we get to save some stamina. As you guys can see, Ishmael paired up with Gregor is very, very strong synergy, and if you paired her up with Ryoshu, also very strong synergy, and also Otis. So this here is just a shell of a comp that you guys can use. Obviously, you can use much stronger units, but Ishmael overall is just a really strong character overall. And as you can see, Ishmael, very, very strong standalone unit. She can do a ton of damage with her suppress and with her quake rounds, and she also applies very good stats debuffs such as the rupture, the fragile, as well as the tremor, and she herself can apply tremor burst, so she can get the tremor burst off. Obviously it's going to be a lot harder in battles where it's not abnormality battles because you don't get to control the flow of the battle, but overall Ishmael is a very strong character. She's got great resistance to blunt. She's bad with pierce, but she's good against slash, and for her she's going to be a great unit in chapter 3 because chapter 3 is littered with blunt units. Overall, I would highly recommend people get her tier 3 because tier 3 is where she definitely shines the most. She synergizes very well with characters such as Ryoshu with her indiscriminate art passive, characters with Gregor because he's got an insane kit, but also because his passive is also very good with his emergency rations and potentially even getting to gene code. Overall, I would say LCCB Assistant Manager Ishmael is a top tier unit. I don't want to say she's like broken tier, but she's very strong standalone unit. So overall, I would say if you guys have her, I would definitely give her a shot. She's very fun to use and very strong. Guys, let me know down in the comment section down below what you guys think of her. I have played her quite a bit, but I don't have all the other characters to synergize with her, so let me know if there's any good synergies, anything that I missed with Ishmael. But honestly, very fun character, very much enjoy playing with her. John Paniel signing off. See you guys later. Bye for now.